And we are back for a Friday edition of the On The Go podcast show. On The Go show, On The Go with Jacob and James. James, my loyal co-host. How are you today?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah?
See how that works?
Yeah, well, you know.
You see how easy that was?
I don't do well under pressure, all right?
So how are you today?
I'm pretty good.
God damn, you look like you were hesitating. You opened the show. We're talking about this.
I've broken the curse.
Oh, boy.
It's been 4 episodes.
It's Friday, all right. It's Friday, all right. God damn it. Oh, man.
You know what? You messed it up because you told me we have a loyal listener.
Yeah.
You know personally.
Yeah, my boy Zom.
Who pointed this out.
Yep, he did.
So you know what?
It's a running gimmick at this point.
Well, not anymore.
Like, this is like McDonald's all of a sudden. Like, oh, man.
I'm sure next week I'll be back to my normal self.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You got to catch me off guard.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, even though we're recording this podcast, it'll still be off guard.
Okay, Jacob, whatever you say.
But anyway, as I stated, this is our Friday edition, our more fun, more pop culture-y edition of the show.
All our shows are fun.
All of them are fun, but this is like more fun because it's the weekend and we're talking about movies and stuff and whatnot. And it's, it's still Christmas time. So we're got the magical of Christmas, or I have the magic of Christmas. James is kind of a Scrooge right now.
Ah, humbug.
Yeah. How have you been this week?
Good,
How has
man.
your week been?
Week has been smooth.
Yeah.
It's been cool outside, nice weather, beautiful sun. I'm ready to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any plans?
No.
Just a vacation?
Yeah.
Staycation?
Man, sometime in life, you just got to take just a random splurge. Just go on vacation.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Sometimes it's nice to just not go anywhere.
Yeah, I probably like take a vacation. Well, I am planning on going somewhere, but I mean, what I mean is, you don't plan anything.
Right.
You just get up and go. Like one night, you just say, you know what, I got a bag, airport.
I don't think I've ever done like a stay-at-home vacation. Like anytime we took a vacation, it's always been like a trip. Or
But you don't look like a type of person that like to sit at home a lot.
Well, that is true. Even though I do sit at home a lot, but
You don't.
But you're right. When I have time off, I don't really want to be home.
Like the only time that you're really at home is like when you're like editing.
Yeah, pretty much editing.
Right, yeah.
During the week and whatnot. Well, I don't know. I try to stay busy. You're right. I don't like being home too much.
I thought you were about to say that. Have you ever took a vacation like a splurge vacation, just out of random?
Oh no, I got to plan my stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun that way.
Mm-hmm.
I did that one time.
Yeah.
And
Get
I
up
went
and
to
go?
just get up and go.
Damn.
Went to the airport, international. Worst mistake I ever made too, by the way. Because I was like, well, I'll never do this again.
Yeah.
I went to the Wendy's, because they got a Wendy's in there.
Yeah.
Burger was completely raw. I was like, so this is so, like, where's Chef Ramsay? So raw, you can throw it back in the field.
Is this your vacation? You went to the Wendy's?
I mean, yeah, it might as well have been. But no, I went to Pasadena, California.
Okay. I was going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, I went to Pasadena, California for 3 days.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and I just went out there and, I got a little martini at the bar.
Nice.
And yeah, I just sat there, looked over and saw the planes flying away. Yeah, I had a little money to splurge.
Nice.
So I was like, let me just do this.
Yeah.
It was cool just to be, I don't need like a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes I only need just 3 days.
Yeah.
So if I do leave, this will probably be just for 3 days. And then boom, then I'm back.
That's not bad. I feel like 3 days is a good amount for vacation.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
First of all, I just want to say I've continued The Bear. Last week I think I was like halfway through season 1. I finished season 1.
What you think about it?
Very satisfactory. Loved the ending. Thought it was great. They found the money that the brother borrowed. They were all in the tomato cans, which doesn't make sense to me. How you
put money in tomato cans
and then reseal it? You know what I mean? Like that had me questioning, but whatever, it's a show.
Yeah, that had me questioning too. So right, yeah.
And then Marcus finally made his perfect donut, and it was just like at the worst time because
no one cared.
No one cared. Sydney had convinced Carmen to do the to-go orders way earlier than they should have, and they forgot to turn off the pre-ordering option. And so the morning they opened, they were getting like 100 something orders.
Oh man,
it was intense.
I was getting PTSD watching
it was
that.
insane.
Yeah,
and then
I know.
Marcus was just like, I did it. I made the perfect donut for the store. And then Carmen was just like, why are you messing with me? Yeah.
Sydney is another person I did not like in this first season.
You didn't like her in the first season?
Nah.
Why?
I just felt like she was so... She wanted everything to be so perfect. And she's coming from a world of a culinary kitchen. And she expected to... She walk into another world where it's totally not like that.
You are a little right about that. But, I don't know. I feel like she took it in stride pretty well. Until the end of the season where she was pushing for all the other stuff.
Yes.
Perfectionist stuff. And even... the bear, Jeremy Allen White's character, made the comment of like, oh yeah, I called all your previous employers. They said you were great, but you try to be like way too perfect, or you try to push too much.
And that's
too
the
fast.
problem I have with her character.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of like part of the conflict of season 1. It's not a big conflict, but it kind of came in towards the end of the season, right? It's just like, oh, this is how her character.
And not to mention she got in the beef with what's her name?
Trina?
I think
something like that.
Yeah, Tina.
Yeah.
And she got a beef with her.
Yeah.
But I love how they finally fixed it at the end.
Oh, yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah, her being the sous chef, and then, finally them kind of seeing eye to eye a little bit.
Because in that world, man, I'm telling you, there is people that are like that. Where
it's a hierarchy,
like,
right?
It's a hierarchy. Yeah. So you got this older person that's been cooking for years.
Yeah.
Then you got this younger person, new, young, fresh, sous chef, went to culinary school, which means quat. And she's coming in with all these new things that he can do this, I can do that, but the other person can't. But she's probably a better cook than that person that's a sous chef.
Yeah. So
I love that dynamic between those two, and I'm glad they was able to work it out.
Yeah, they worked it out. I think Trina or Tina, it's one of those two names. Yeah. I can't remember, but they
give her two names. Huh?
Yeah, Tina Trina. But she gained a lot of respect for Sydney, and then in the second season, they sent her off to culinary school?
Culinary school.
Sent her to this culinary school, and she's like wanting to better herself and all this stuff. Which brings me to the second season. The other older guy, Ibra, feel super bad for him.
I was about to say, I was about to bring his name up to you. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I felt super bad for him because he's where I'm at now. I don't think he's officially left the
culinary.
No, he left the culinary school, but I don't think he's quit the job yet.
No, he hasn't quit.
And they're right now, Carmen's too busy to give him a call, but Tina's like, you should call him. But, they show him smoking a cigar, looking at the ocean, and you're like, yeah, this is just a dude who's recognizing that.
Yeah, he understands because
it's past his prime.
It's past his prime. The place is changing.
Yeah.
They're trying to, the remodel has been a mess so far.
Oh, yeah, it's such a, I'm glad the whole second season is the remodel.
Yeah, it's the launch, trying to get everything off the ground.
That's impressive. I assumed the second season was going to be all right, we remodeled it. Here we are. But I do appreciate that the second season is them struggling with the money. They had to borrow a bunch of more money from the mafia uncle, and they're just stressing out about getting the place open. They're like, we have 18 months to pay him back, so we have to open up in 3 months instead of 6 months. And it's just all this stuff going on.
It's a lot, man.
I appreciate it a lot, and I like where it's going. The only thing I don't like, James, is the introduction of the love interest for the bear.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree, but she's very forgettable.
Well, yeah, she is. I think she's only been in the show for 2 episodes at this point, where I'm at. But I don't. There's already enough conflict in the show.
You don't need more conflict,
right? To where you're adding this whole other she's not an antagonist, obviously, but she might as well be a wrench in the machine, right? So it's just you're already adding this other thing, and Carmen's already so busy, he's so distracted. Sydney's trying to get a menu together, and then now you have him hanging out with his girl. I don't need to see.
I definitely understand what you're saying. I think it's another layer. And I'm going to be real with you. When she was on screen, I could care less.
Yeah, me too.
I was too busy enthralled with everything else.
Right. I want to find out. And they sent Marcus to London, Sweden. They sent him somewhere.
They sent him over there, and
he's learning how to bake from Will.
Yes.
Will, what's his last name?
Will Poulter.
There we go. Will Poulter.
Yeah. I love that guy, man.
Phenomenal scenes. Everyone they're in together.
Before, I saw a review for The Bear, and everybody was talking about Will Poulter. He was so great in those scenes. He ate up every last one of those scenes, man.
No, and when they first introduced him, I was on edge because I was like, how's this character going to be? Is he going to be a jerk, or is he going to be really cool? I don't know. I was a little worried about Marcus. I thought Marcus was going to go, he's going to mess something up, and then Will's character is gonna go Gordon Ramsay on him or
Yeah.
something. Complete opposite.
Which he kind of is like Gordon Ramsay, because a lot of people think that Gordon Ramsay is like this big douchebag.
No, I
and
mean,
he's not.
yeah,
Like he gets mad,
Yeah.
because he wants perfection. And a lot of that he hulks up for the TV shows,
right.
But how Will Poulter's character, characters acts,
Mm-hmm.
that's how Gordon Ramsay really acts.
I see. Well, I was expecting like the Hell's Kitchen,
The
Gordon
Hell's
Ramsay.
Kitchen version, yeah. Mhm.
And I'm glad it wasn't like that because
No.
I was real worried about Marcus. I was like, oh man, he's gonna go.
I
He's gonna
was
get
too.
so heartbroken because
Yeah.
he messed up a cake or something. But no, he's doing great.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's having a good time too.
Yeah, man, it's a great show.
And you can see that him and Sydney's like,
Yeah,
it's
I
getting
like their
closer.
chemistry.
Yeah, the chemistry's there.
Yeah, at first I thought maybe like Jeremy Allen White and her character would have some chemistry.
Me too.
And they do, but it's like the business part.
Yeah, it's business part,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not the same. So I like what they're doing.
You'll see as the show goes on though.
Yeah.
Something else happens. That's another special guest in that show.
All right. Well, hopefully I'll finish the second season soon.
Well, hopefully you can finish it up before New Year's,
Yeah. You know what? I will.
so we can wrap this on up.
Yeah. I'll make it a point to finish it before New Year's.
Finish it on up, man.
And I got to watch Squid Games too, but that's a whole different thing. Anyway,
Yeah, right.
moving on. I believe you have a movie review for me.
Yes, I saw Godzilla -1.
All right, please tell me this without spoiling too much because I've seen a lot of things for this movie and it looks really good. I've heard a lot of good things. The trailer looks great. The Godzilla looks great. And this is Toho, right? So this is original OG Japanese company doing this movie.
Well, okay, so when they first said they were doing a Godzilla movie, I was like, is it a part of the one that's in America?
Right.
Because I didn't really see any trailers for it. So I thought this was just some type of fan event, or they were showing some old movies from back in the day.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what to expect from watching this movie. And when I tell you, Jacob, and I'm telling you that this is not overreaction, this is not a moment. This is the best movie I've seen since Jaws.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Really?
The human side of this movie is amazing. You have this kamikaze pilot who's suffered PTSD. This guy has been a failure at being a kamikaze.
I was gonna say.
He bailed out on his pilot.
Oh man.
And then he lands on this island. He bails out on them. They stumble upon Godzilla. He's reluctant to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
PTSD.
And if I'm not mistaken, Godzilla is like a villain in this movie.
Yeah, he's a villain, and he's not as big
Okay.
because he's still somewhat young.
Okay.
So, and it's man. The story is with the kamikaze pilot the entire time, and you feel sorry for the town of this town of Toho in Japan because this is right after 1940s. This is right after World War II.
Right.
So they're trying to pick up the pieces of where they left off at.
Oh man.
So, which I liked about this film is because we see the other side of it.
Yeah.
Because so many times with World War II, we only seen the American side.
Yeah.
But we get to see the other side too.
Oh, that's good. That's
and these people had nothing to do with any of this.
Well, and the very first original Godzilla that was also set after World War II, obviously. But Godzilla was like the answer to the atomic bomb. Or not the answer to the atomic bomb. He was the consequence of the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Right? That was the whole explanation. And he was supposed to be this environmental disaster come to life.
And I'm glad they didn't do too much explaining that. I was like, look, that story's been done so many times.
It has.
If you don't know how Godzilla became to be, then
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're right. It has. But it's like when he was first introduced, he was also still like just a monster villain. And like, they flip flop back and forth. Sometimes he's a hero. Sometimes he's fighting other monsters. Sometimes he's destroying the city.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nice to see them like acknowledge the origins of Godzilla in a way.
Yeah.
Or not the origins, but like go back to the basics, go back to the roots.
Everything goes back to the basis with this film. And it's not, it was done on a budget of 15 mil.
That's impressive.
And understandably so, because if you see the movie, the like I told you, this town is trying to pick up where World War II left
Yeah.
off.
And then
So
Godzilla.
everything's in ruins.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not hard to film a place of location that's
Yeah.
kind of like dingy and trying to rebuild up. And you, like I said, you're following the story of the kamikaze pilot and all his stories. He tries to get a job as a mine because they have those little miners, those little bombs outside in the ocean
Yeah.
that you have to collect those
Right.
because of the war.
Yeah.
So they have to collect all that stuff, and then that's when they stumble on Godzilla again. And look, he's not in there a lot, but when he is in there, he chews up every last bit of the scenes that he is in, and he is devastating. He is to the point where you don't like he's a problem.
Right. So an image that I keep seeing is the image of him chasing the boat
Amazing.
in the ocean.
Amazing.
It's
His
such a
jaw's
cool
like-
picture. It's
Oh, yeah.
such a cool picture.
To see his eyes.
Yes.
And like this thing is like scary.
Yes. He's
Like-
just like off like above the
Yeah.
surface of the water almost.
Because
yeah.
in most movies that you've seen Godzilla in, it's never been the factor of you being scared. It's like, oh man, this is badass.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is nothing.
Yeah.
But in this film,
They make him
he's-
scary.
He's scary. He's
Yeah.
a problem. He's a whole problem. And he's just, you're so invested with the characters that are in this film that you're like, man, could you not kill them? Like, you want to kill everybody else, that's fine. Don't
Look,
kill these people.
Smash the building.
Yeah, smash
Let
the
the
building.
people go.
Let the people go. These people are trying to rebuild. They get no help from American government. They get no
Oh,
help from
man.
the Japanese government. And like, it's not like they can't help. It's just that there's so many rules that permit them to not
Right.
be able to help.
Right.
Even though we all know the Godzilla's going to be a problem for America eventually,
Yeah.
but they are permitted to cannot help. So the town is trying to rally together and trying to find a way
Yeah.
how to stop this thing. They know they're not going to be able to kill it.
Yeah.
But how can we stop this thing?
Oh,
Because he is devastating and
That
he's
sounds-
destroying everything.
that sounds so cool. I'm definitely gonna try to see it this weekend.
You have to, man.
I want
You
to
have
see
to.
it. I want to see it in theaters.
Young Khadijah will love it.
Yeah.
Young Khadijah will. I'm telling you, man, the human story is what you're going to fall more in love with
Yeah.
than the actual, don't get me wrong, you're going to fall in love with Godzilla too.
Yeah.
But the human interaction with these people and what they're going through,
Yeah.
and it is just an amazing film. The subtitles, I had no problem with that. I had no problem reading.
Right.
Because you're so enthralled with the story,
Yeah.
you want to read more and
Yeah.
more and more. So I had no problem with that. The score was amazing. They played the Godzilla score.
They have to.
You have to. You have to, right?
Yeah. You don't do a Godzilla movie without it. Or you
What
do,
else?
but-
What else can I say about this film without spoiling it? Man, it's in my opinion, it should be nominated for best foreign movie
Oh man.
in the Oscars. In my opinion,
I'm so down to watch it. I'm definitely gonna try to check it out.
best Godzilla movie hands down.
I was already interested before you told me this, and now I'm even more interested.
Oh,
I gotta
love it,
watch
man. I might have to watch it again my own self.
Damn.
I might have to watch it. And there's not a lot of movies that I have watched over the years twice
Yeah.
or 3 times. The Batman has probably been the only film I watched like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
So this will be a movie that I want to make an appointment to watch it again. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's how freaking good this movie is.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, that's another thing too that Godzilla does in the movie that I did not know he had the power to do.
Oh really?
I was like, oh, well, that's a bummer. Didn't know he could do that.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Well,
man.
Because I kind of think because they had Shin Godzilla that came out a few years ago,
I remember that one.
and Toho did that. I think after King of the Monsters,
Mhm.
or after that 2014 Godzilla, sometime between those two, or after the second one. And I had thought this was kind of a sequel to that
Everybody did.
because the logo is the same, so it's not.
It's not. No, this is something its own separate universe.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I'm kind of glad because Shin Godzilla seemed like it kind of got weird because he started off as a worm in that movie.
yeah.
It was very strange, and I never saw it. I've always kind of wanted to, but then the weirdness kept me away from it. But this movie looks straight Godzilla.
No, yeah, this is just straight Godzilla. Going back, like you said, going back to the basics.
Yeah.
This movie was everything that I wanted 2014 Godzilla to be.
Oh,
Remember when
man.
Bryan Cranston,
Yeah.
the whole stuff with him and his
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And from that point on, it just dropped off.
Yeah.
It dropped off the face of the earth.
You're right.
Like that whole film dropped off.
And you know what? We'll get into that more when we talk about the new Godzilla trailer.
Oh,
In
okay.
the next
Okay,
few
cool.
minutes.
Okay,
'Cause-
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Godzilla content coming out.
Yeah. But like I said, man, that's all I got. That's all my movie review. Definitely check it out.
yeah.
I give it about I give it 4.5 stars
Yeah.
because only thing I will say, I forgot about this. When you do a 15 million budget, you're gonna show a little bit of cracks here and there.
Yeah.
Those a little bit of cracks.
I think I know what you're talking about because I think I've seen like the Godzilla thing in motion.
Yeah,
And yeah, there was a thing I saw where it kind of looked a little wobbly.
Because at one point he was moving like really, really fast.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's like this is not a good thing at all for him to be moving this fast. And then at another point,
So-
he was moving like a robot.
So is he not a guy in a suit then?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, because Toho, it's always a guy in a suit.
It is.
So this might be like one of their first or few animatronic.
If they did,
Godzilla.
they played it off pretty good, but
Okay.
you just kind of tell.
As long
like,
as
okay.
it's practical though, which I appreciate and I'm impressed with. And that kind of leads us into our next topic.
And just so you know, it made $34 million over the weekend.
Oh, great.
Last weekend.
It made money then. It didn't break even. No, it did break even.
$34 million on a $15 million budget.
Yeah, that's breaking even.
That's pretty
You made
good.
$4 million so far.
Yeah,
But you aftermarket sales, you got DVD sales. I'm sure it's gonna fly off the shelves.
it's gonna make more this weekend.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's got my money. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Speaking of practical effects, Deadpool. We were going to talk about this before the Godzilla topic, but I was excited to hear about Godzilla. So, Deadpool 3 is in production. There's been all these plot leaks, set photos coming out about it.
A lot.
It's gotten me kind of nervous because they're doing the whole Deadpool kills the Fox universe thing. And you and I were talking about, before we started podcasting, I'm a little nervous that they're just going to be like, oh, hey, look at all these dumb Fox characters. Weren't they stupid? And
throwing up a whole bunch of nostalgia stuff. And
yeah, like it kind of getting nostalgia, but also just being like, we're going to do our own thing entirely because we bought these characters and now we're going to murder them. And it's just, I don't know if I want to see that per se.
Because it sounds very arrogant. That's what you're saying.
It does. And, from the leaks, there's some characters that return, but they're not returning for too long. And I don't want to say what all the leaks are, just in case anybody's listening.
I don't want to say it either.
Yeah, just in case nobody's seen it. I don't want to ruin it for you. And out of respect for Ryan Reynolds, because Ryan Reynolds put out a thing that actually kind of made me feel a little bit better about the movie. And that's he put out a statement that's like, hey guys, like, look, there's a lot of leaks coming out and all this stuff. He's like, I just want to say we're doing a lot of practical stuff, and practicality involves us having to do things outside instead of inside on, a filming lot with green screen and all this stuff. He's like, I get it. Like, everyone's excited for this movie. I'm excited for this movie, but like, let's try to not do the spoilers. All right.
It's hard,
like,
man. It's so hard.
Yeah. But the fact that he said, like, we're doing a lot of practical stuff kind of reassures me a little bit, because at least I know it's not going to be overly CGI'd and like kind of like the last few Marvel movies, right? Well, and this is a Marvel movie. This is an MCU movie now.
It is. As much as it may not look like it is,
right?
It is. But I think the thing about it is, like I've been telling you, Ryan Reynolds has his hand in the pulse of this movie.
You are correct about that.
And he's not going to let it fall off like a Miss Marvel or anything like that.
I mean, I would hope not. I would hope he's kind of fighting Kevin Feige off a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I know this is supposed to tie into the bigger universe, but let me, calm down now.
So, but him killing the Fox universe kind of scares me, because I think it's just going to be another one of those, like, the universe is at stake, except, it's him doing it or whatever. And I mean, I could be entirely wrong. From what we kind of know, from plot leaks we've seen, it's something similar to that. But
well, from all I'm all gathering and what you're saying is like, don't be so arrogant enough to say like, oh, we got our own thing now. We're gonna fix what all these other people messed up with these movies. Because like I told you at that time, if it weren't for these movies that's getting rammed over, we would not have an MCU.
Right.
Let's just get it out the way now. We wouldn't, if it wasn't for X-Men and Spider-Man and Daredevil. What else was 22? Elektra, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
The Hulk was that Sony? Yeah, it was Sony, but still.
Universal.
Oh, Universal, I'm sorry. And you had that. So you had all the Fantastic Four, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's like you had all these different things back then that may not have been perfect.
Right.
But they were the best that we had at that time.
Right. And they do hold special places in our hearts.
Yeah, because you can remember where you were when you saw this movie. You can remember where you were, you saw X-Men United. Or I remember when they had like the summer in 2004 and they had all these movies out here. Mm-hmm. They had all these movies on the list. And it was Cinemark.
Yeah.
And they had Ice Age, the Hulk. They had X-Men United.
Yep.
Finding Nemo. And I was like, I got to see X-Men United.
X-Men United was...
it's so still good. In my opinion, it's still one of the top 5.
Yeah, it still holds up. It's a great story.
Yeah, that movie still holds up perfect.
It's a great story. It's funny because like every other X-Men movie is like super fantastic or just kind of meh, right? Because X-Men United was great. X3, meh.
Horrible.
X-Men Origins, very meh. But the Wolverine movie that came out, the Wolverine movie was pretty good. Logan was really good.
Chef Kiss.
Days of Future Past.
Chef Kiss.
Oh my God, Days of Future Past. They've managed to adapt a 2-page comic story.
Love that movie.
Full movie. It's a great movie. And it's great because the beginning of that movie, they killed off like half the X-Men.
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa.
The only thing I didn't like was the Bishop. I was like, God, man, y'all could have done Bishop better than that.
Poor Bishop wasn't in there that long, but like they kill off the X-Men, and you're like, whoa, and then they kill him off again later on in the movie.
Don't forget about First Class.
First Class was great too.
First Class was good. It was a good base.
It was a good base. It was a good reset. Mm-hmm. It was, but I really like First Class. I really like Days of Future Past. Apocalypse was okay. Phoenix,
a disaster.
The Phoenix movie, I feel like that and New Mutants, they kind of got messed up because that was right around the time that
they was going to go to
Disney bought them out. Yeah, and they made them change Phoenix up because Captain Marvel was coming out at the same time, and I guess like there's too many similarities. So the Phoenix and New Mutants, there's different versions of those movies.
That's all type of different versions of that movie.
And poor New Mutants. New Mutants was actually pretty good.
That was DOA.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing because they very obviously set that up for a trilogy. They were going to have Mr. Sinister
played by John Hamm, allegedly.
Oh my gosh, there were so many aspects of that movie that could have been so much better if they didn't have to chop it up because it got sold out.
Yeah, it got sold out, and it got delayed.
Yeah, it got delayed like a year or two.
Yeah, a year or two.
It got delayed a long time.
I know it was during COVID, and then it got delayed again.
Yeah.
So it was just so many things.
It's upsetting that was the last gasp of like the Fox-owned X-Men properties because that was supposed to be set up to be not a huge franchise, but it was supposed to be like a different X-Men property, you know?
So let me ask you this. Do you think if Disney doesn't buy 20th Century Fox, could they have recovered? With New Mutants, could they have recovered?
I don't know if they could have recovered.
From all the failures?
I don't know if they could have recovered, but they didn't have that many failures. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they didn't have, it wasn't like DC where they had like a crap load of failures.
No, they weren't like, I don't know, they were doing good enough to where I think the New Mutants could have been like a really great franchise.
And X-Men has a hell of a fan base too.
Yeah, I mean, the X-Men universe is so big.
It is.
You could just have your own movie universe.
You can have your own single universe. Yeah. And that's what we've been saying with Marvel, MCU. When you do this reboot again, Fantastic Four, X-Men, boom, that's it.
Right.
Because assuming that Spider-Man is bought out by Sony again, it's like, hey, we're going back.
They're in talks to do Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, I saw that.
But we're not covering that today.
Yeah, we're not covering that today. I'm done with Spider-Man right now.
Yeah, we're not doing that. But yeah, no, I mean, we were getting plenty of X-Men movies pretty regularly before.
We were.
You know what I mean?
And you're right.
Now we're going to get one every like 3-4 years probably. We still don't know when the next X-Men movie's coming out.
So, look, the main thing is don't get too arrogant, Disney, because when you cover X-Men, when you do X-Men movies, you thought Batman has a strong fan base?
Yeah.
You thought Superman has a strong fan base?
X-Men's got one too.
X-Men has a very, very strong fan base. Yeah. And if you mess this up, they're going to be on you.
Yeah.
They're going to be on you big time.
Yeah. And I mean...
don't get too arrogant.
And I mean, you're playing it safe because you're using Deadpool to like really kind of introduce the X-Men and stuff.
The tentpole. He's kind of like the person in the middle. Cross the bridges, but they definitely got to be careful. So don't be too arrogant. About this.
I just hope I just hope they're, like you said, they're not too arrogant about it, and they're just like, we're gonna kill off all these people and everybody's dead or whatever. Well, now there's rumors they're bringing back X-23.
Yeah, I saw that too,
and that kind of bothers me too because they had stated before already like this movie is set before Logan.
Yeah, it is
right because they were like, hey, Logan is still the end of Wolverine. Mm-hmm. But now you're bringing an X-23 and it's like, okay, well, how's that going to work? I mean, I know you have multiverses and stuff, but like, I don't know. That's also kind of worries me.
Well, it's just a lot. It's just so much that they're doing that you're so confused on, and you've seen all these different leaks and stuff.
And now, because now it also has to fit in with all these other things going on.
Yeah, because I don't want to give just one leak away, but I kind of do because it's kind of important to the actual stuff what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because you said it has to relate to all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
What's the name? TBA? The time?
Oh, yeah, the TVA. I saw them.
The TVA, they were in there. They were one of the leaks. And that's it. That's the only leak I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But that leak was in there. So I'm like.
Well, that does match up with like a plot leak I saw earlier this year before we even started doing the show.
Yeah.
So
I am a little, now that I'm just saying it out loud, I am a little scared now because I'm like. Man. If you go from Deadpool 1 to 2, this was going to be it's vastly different.
A leap because both those Deadpool movies were so grounded.
They're grounded.
So grounded, so singular, small stories. And now we got this giant, fantastical, we're killing the Fox multiverse.
And see, that's what happened to Ant-Man Quantumania.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened to them. So yeah, I'm a little scared too.
Sorry, everyone. I know we talk about Marvel a lot.
Yeah, we didn't mean to go talk.
I really didn't.
I didn't either.
But I don't know. I started talking and it was like all these feelings came out.
Yeah. It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah. I want to introduce a new segment.
What you got?
So we're going to talk about some trailers coming up.
Oh, baby.
Right.
I love some movie trailers.
But I thought we're going to make this a segment. This is going to be our trailer park segment. We're going to go to the trailer park, James. Are you
Let's
ready?
hear it. I'm sorry, white people. I had nothing to do with this.
We got some movies coming out, James. I don't know if you were paying too much attention, but we got a Mad Max property coming out.
I am
Furiosa.
so hyped.
Me too. I am so dude. They've been talking about that movie since not the first Mad Max, but the Fury Road.
I've been waiting for it since the first
Literally
Fury
since
Road.
Fury Road, they've been talking about this movie. And you know what kind of scares me is that unfortunately, due to the times that we're in, that people are going to see this trailer and they're going to be like, "Oh, look, they
It's a woman."
wokeified Mad Max."
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, no.
Nope.
They've been talking about doing this. George Miller himself is behind it. It's Furiosa's origin story. And I'm not going to lie, the trailer right now looks very too CGI. There's heavy CGI.
Like when I saw like the background, I was like, is it just me? Is it just me to notice?
It is not just you, sir.
Because I watched those reaction mashups on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've heard no one say anything about this, but for me, I was like,
Nope, that was the first thing I noticed.
that's the first thing I noticed too. It was like it was way too orange, way too blue. It like Spy Kids.
The background looks so fuzzy.
Yes, it looked like Spy Kids level. I was like, what's going on now?
No, I agree. Because the CGI looks heavy compared to Fury Road, which is a lot of practical effects.
A lot of practical.
I assume this is going to be too.
I think so too.
With the car scenes, but it does seem like they're using a little bit more CGI than last time, and that doesn't have me worried. It just kind of bugs me a bit.
So when do you think this movie was filmed? It was filmed during COVID, obviously.
You know, I think so because they've been working on it for a while.
They have,
and I think because Anya Taylor-Joy has been attached to it for a while.
And
Chris Hemsworth, I don't know how long he's been attached to it.
He's been attached to it for a while too. He was the first person I heard.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find. Which that's another thing too. I am very happy. I don't know who Chris Hemsworth is in this movie.
Oh,
Did you
man.
recognize him?
I knew who he was when I first heard him, and I was like, "Yeah, those prosthetics on that nose looked amazing."
Oh yeah, it does.
He didn't look like Colin Farrell in Penguin, but he still looked very very unrecognizable.
You can't tell it's him at first.
You can't tell
he
it's him
doesn't sound like
first.
Chris Hemsworth.
Lady and gentlemen.
Yeah. No,
I like that.
That impressed me a whole lot.
Yeah,
because not to bring up Marvel again, but I'm bringing up Marvel again. As someone had stated that, like, the thing with the Marvel's movies is when you get these big name actors on your characters, that like characters like Iron Man or Spider-Man, like they always take their masks off because you pay for the actor. You're not paying for them to be the character per se.
True.
And I'm glad this movie has them in makeup and effects. So it's like, yeah, Chris Hemsworth is here, but also you couldn't tell.
I loved it. I loved it. I was like, man, this guy looks dope.
Yeah, no, the whole trailer looks great. I kind of have a small theory about
What the film is about.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of know what it's about, right? It's just Furiosa's origins and how she gets with Immortan and Joe and all that. I can't find a time when they started filming right now, but it had to be like beginning of COVID.
So that's maybe that's probably some of the reason why the CGI looks a little wonky.
It's just old.
And
it's also a first trailer, right?
Yeah, it's the first trailer.
Trailers never look good.
So they got time to fix all this stuff.
Yeah. But my theory or my hope sort of is because Mad Max, anybody who knows a Mad Max world, the only real canon Mad Max movie is the first one, right? All the other ones are just kind of like tales around a campfire.
That's the one with Tina Turner.
Yeah, well, that one, and then the Road Warrior.
Yeah, Road Warrior.
And even Fury Road.
Road, yeah.
Because George Miller himself even said, because, there's never a straight timeline with Mad Max. They don't really reference each other too much. So George Miller himself was like, yeah, no, Mad Max is kind of a character that you hear about in the wasteland around a campfire or whatever. So I think it would be kind of a neat idea. It might be a little redundant, but it would be kind of neat, is if this movie is the real events of Fury Road.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
And then at the end of it, we see Furiosa like with a bunch of like wastelanders or whatever. And she's like, oh, hey, let me tell you a story. I
like that.
So maybe Mad Max gets involved, but he's not involved as much in this movie.
Yeah.
But the way she tells the story is Fury Road.
Okay.
I think that would be like really cool and smart. I don't think they're gonna do it.
I don't think they are either, but I mean, no, I mean, not to poo-poo what you're saying.
No, yeah.
But that would be interesting.
No, I think it would just be kind of like a neat little Easter egg for anybody who's like involved in the Mad Max.
But I also love like the urban legend of it.
Yeah.
Look, I've been a Starch Defender. No, not a Starch Defender, but I've been on the record. We used to do a podcast back in the day called what was it?
Have you seen this?
Have you seen this?
Yes.
And when our first movie, Mad Max, right?
Yeah,
that was our first movie.
We did the three of them because we
did three of them.
We were doing the 80s. We were doing it every year of the 1980s. And Mad Max, I didn't know it at the time, but like Mad Max 1 was like 81, the second one was 82, and then the third one was like 85.
And it had Mel Gibson in there.
Yeah.
And I liked the first one. The first one was very good. I never liked the second one that much. And the third one was just like, why?
Yeah, the Tina Turner, Peter Pan.
Yeah, the Thunderdome. I was just like, God, man.
You're bringing back memories.
Yeah, it was pretty, it was a rough watch. So I did like Fury Road.
Fury Road was so good.
I thought Fury Road was one of the best films of that year. And it should have won an Oscar. I think it won for like technical awards though.
Yeah, probably like effects and stuff.
It won for technical awards. Yeah. So when they first said we're making a new one, I was like, I am all for it.
Yeah.
Now I was a little pissed that they weren't bringing back Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Because I was like
Tom Hardy.
And Tom Hardy, but I understood the beef between those two.
Yeah.
But I hated they didn't bring back Charlize because they were like, well, she's too old.
Yeah.
I was like, that's BS.
She's in a lot of stuff though. She's doing things.
Yeah, she's still
a great actress.
So I thought she could have still played it, but when they said Anya Taylor-Joy, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Now you tickle me. Yeah. You tickling me now.
Yeah.
Because I do love Anya Taylor-Joy. And if you saw her eyes in the trailer, like the camera tricks, the way it looks in her eyes, it's perfect.
Yeah.
She looks so great, Richard. Yeah. Jacob.
Richard's thinking about you.
Yeah, right. But she looks great, man.
Yeah, no,
I'm so hyped for this.
I'm so excited for it. And I'm, like I said, I'm kind of afraid people are just going to complain about it just because like, oh, they woke-ified it. But
I've heard some very small complaints, but not a lot.
Yeah. I mean, even when I was talking to Joel about it, Joel kind of was like, oh, when I first saw it, I was about to get upset. They're making a woman Mad Max. And he's like, oh, and then I realized it was Furiosa. I was like, yeah, man.
Well, what did you think they were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand not everyone's plugged into the movie universe like me and you.
Yeah.
Because obviously me and you are more plugged into the movie universe, entertainment world.
Even though I don't watch anything, I still read stuff.
But you still kind of knew that, though.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for this.
The music was great too.
Oh yeah, and then the action, the war boars. It's pretty much it is Fury Road, right? It's set in the Fury Road universe still, or
it's
the
a
Fury
prequel.
Road timeline.
It's a prequel.
So that's interesting too, because outside of like the wasteland, I guess like each Mad Max has its own like feel or kind of environments that they're in. Like Thunderdome. They had the Thunderdome. Then you go to like a paradise type place. Yeah. So there was that, and then
but it just felt like with Fury Road, it was just so chaotic.
It was chaotic, and it was such a linear movie too.
Yeah.
And I mean, all movies are linear, but like it was literally linear. They were going in one direction most of the time,
and it worked so good.
It did.
I was like, wow. Like from the moment you sit in your seat and you strap in and you got your popcorn and your drink, bang, it hits you.
Yeah.
And it just boom, 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 boom. And it just doesn't stop. And you're just all the way enthralled. So I'm hoping that this movie can give us that feeling again.
I think it will. Because, like I said, it's George Miller all the way. It's still his property. He knows what he's doing with it. It's going to be great.
Hey, you ain't there for me. You ain't no complaints for me, man.
So our next trailer that came out related to the Godzilla topic, America is getting another Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Godzilla Kong, New Empire, or whatever the name is. Yeah, that's the name.
You want to sell some toys? Here we go.
Yeah, right? I mean, a complete difference from the Japan Godzilla. But you know what? There's a Godzilla movie for everybody.
It
right?
is.
Godzilla, big dumb monster movie at the end of the day, right? Yeah, you can have your dramatic, like, make you think kind of movies. Godzilla's the villain. He's tearing up stuff. And then you can have your big, dumb, fun Godzilla and King Kong are teaming up.
Fun.
Yeah. They're teaming up to fight another King Kong.
And Diddy Kong.
Yeah, King Kong and Diddy Kong.
You saw the little baby Kong. It's like, oh, this is basically Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong.
Now, from what I understand, this is mostly a King Kong movie.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Godzilla's not. I think Godzilla's going to come in at the end. And there's been reports that it is like a Kong centric movie. I don't know why they called it Godzilla Kong. They could have just probably called it Kong New Empire and then still had Godzilla cameo in there.
That would have been a lot smarter.
You know, I don't know why you had to put Godzilla's name on it if you're not going to use him for most of the movie. I could be wrong.
Because technically Godzilla had 2 movies.
Yeah.
And then you could have had Kong have his 2 movies.
Yeah. And then you still had the one where they fought each other.
Yeah.
Right. So everything kind of
Balances
evens out.
Evens out, yeah.
But this movie looks so much fun, though.
How can I say this? It does look interesting. I'm going to watch it, of course. But I am allowed to give an opinion about it.
Yes, you are.
After seeing this last Godzilla, it's just, man.
Yeah.
It's such a vast difference.
You know, for sure.
And you definitely see why the director wanted to put his version out over this.
Yeah.
And I think this one's going to be fun. Look, dumb fun. For the people who did not like -1, which I know there are a lot of people that didn't like.
Yeah, of course.
Because they were like, there's too much subtitles.
They're going to love this one.
Yeah, they're going to love this one.
Right.
They're going to sell a lot of toys. They're going to sell a lot of merchandise. So I get it. You know, America's about business. We're about money. So I get it. But the trailer didn't do nothing for me.
No.
It really did nothing for me. It was interesting, though.
Yeah.
It was interesting. What's his name? The villain, Scar King?
I have no idea what they're calling him. Are they calling him Scar King?
Yeah, I think it's called Scar King is his name. And he wore like the spinals of all the apes that he's killed.
Yeah.
Because apparently he's killed Kong's family over time.
That's interesting.
So he's real, like this guy he's not the biggest person, but he's very lengthy.
Right.
So he's able to kick Kong's behind.
Yeah.
So that's why they have to summon up Godzilla.
It's interesting to see a Kong villain though. Because I don't know, like out of King Kong movies, because there have been King Kong movies.
Yeah, it has been.
We don't really know.
Not as many as Godzilla, but
right. But we don't really know King Kong villains. There's been a Mecha Kong. There's been a Mecha King Kong. Outside of that, we don't know anybody he fights. So it's interesting that they gave him a villain. I would have liked to seen a Godzilla villain just because, I like Godzilla more.
I think we all do.
Yeah, of course. It would have been cool if like Space Godzilla or
did you see like the little metal thing that Kong had on, the Infinity Gauntlet?
Yeah, the weird gauntlet thing.
So let me ask you something, because it's been a long time since I watched Godzilla versus Kong.
You don't have that.
Well, I know he did, but did he hurt his hand or something? Did he hurt his arm? Or does it happen in this movie, you think? And that's how he got the armor?
He may have. I don't think he...
I think that's what happened. Something must have happened.
He could have, because you know what? Godzilla probably would have bitten his hand at some point.
Or
I don't know why that would have caused him to have a whole glove.
Or maybe Scar beat his behind.
He probably got beat the heck up.
He got beat the heck up, and then that's why he's like, I gotta go get Godzilla.
And then Monarch, they gave him some gear.
So from what I heard, there's not gonna be a lot of human action,
which is great.
That's fine.
These movies don't need it.
Yeah, the American version of Godzilla and Kong, the human interactions were just absolutely
now.
trash.
If you notice, the conspiracy guy from the last movie, he's in this.
Yeah,
one.
he's in this one too. Yeah.
I wonder if Millie Bobby Brown's gonna be in it.
It didn't seem like it. I saw my guy from Atlanta. What's my guy's name? David Tyree? Not David Tyree.
And I think one of the Mothra twins are in here.
Yeah,
because they were in the Godzilla Ghidorah movie, right? So they were involved in that. So I think one of them or both of them might be in this one, because it seems like there's like some weird underground light city thing going on.
So how did you feel about the little spikes and the pink spikes?
I think it's cool.
You think it's cool?
Yeah, man.
I did like that.
He's got a power up. You know what I mean? Like,
I know some people had a problem with that. They said, "Oh man, Godzilla's pink."
Whatever.
Oh yeah, Brian Tyree.
It's radiation. You know what I mean? Like it can.
You know, man. People are always gonna have something to complain about. Yeah, Brian Tyree. He's
that guy. Yeah.
I saw him in there, but I didn't see Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah. I don't think she's coming back.
She probably is.
Yeah,
she's got other things to do. She's trying to be an adult now.
Yeah, she's like, I'm good on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Stranger Things 5, 6, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's coming up now.
She's probably filming that.
She's probably filming that. So it's understandable. But yeah, the trailer looks. It's gonna be a fun summer movie.
It's gonna be fun.
You got during Memorial weekend, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't pay attention.
I didn't pay attention
to the date. So yeah. But I mean, you got to admit though, that scene where like Godzilla pops out of the ground and they're like running together.
Yeah, Avenger style.
Oh, so good.
Avenger style. That's what it looked like.
When you say it like that.
That's what it looked like. Avenger style. It looked Avengers.
I mean, kind of, but it was still cool to see. Like, come on. Like,
no. It's always cool to see these two mega Goliaths in movie history team up or fight against each other.
Yeah.
Because you never would have thought you would have ever seen that in this time, day and age. So, like I said, I'm not sitting up here saying, I don't want that because I've seen this already. No, I'm gonna watch the film. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna make jokes about it.
Yeah, of course.
But
These are the movies you can watch and
Yeah.
just have a fun, dumb time.
it's a popcorn type
And even if
movie.
it is stupid, you can just still have fun with it.
You can
It's
still
like,
have fun with
like
it.
the Meg movies. You know what I mean? The Meg's dumb as hell.
Yeah, they don't.
But they're still fun.
That's still fun. Like there's been plenty of shark movies back in the day that we watched, Deep Blue Sea,
Yeah.
that were just absolute ass watch.
Yeah.
But we still watched them. So I think this movie would do good in that regard. And yeah, we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna
Yeah.
have fun with it.
I think it's gonna be a cool time. And then
Yeah.
so our final trailer is, I don't know how well versed in the Fallout video games you are.
I'm not.
Okay.
I am a little bit. So this is all you right here.
And it's all me.
I did see pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Amazon is doing a Fallout series. And for the most part from the trailer, it looks pretty good. I will say it kind of looks a little fan made, you know?
I could tell. I could tell. Look a little fan. I said, "Is this real?"
Yeah.
That's why I know. When I heard they were doing Fallout. I was like, "The game."
yeah.
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 Okay.
I mean, it does look a little fan made, but you know, in some way, shape, or form, all movies are fan made.
Yeah.
It's arguable, I know. But
Yeah. I'll give you that.
but also again, first trailer. They could be still working on effects or whatever. And it's also Amazon. So let's be honest. Amazon don't have that big a budget.
They don't, but they do pretty good though.
They do pretty good. They spend a lot on fake blood for the boys.
Yeah, they do.
You know, but it looks good. And Fallout, the games are so vast and wide to where I think you could do a show and not really, how do I say it? Not really diminish the game lore, right? Because I mean, the biggest chunk of lore is like they all live in a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland 200 something years in the future. You know what I mean? The games themselves, it's completely open world. You can do whatever, not whatever, but like there's so many different quest lines. Like you can join the paladins. Like if you watch the trailer, there's these dudes in like big metal armor, and I think they're called the paladins, but they're kind of like the new military of the post-apocalyptic wasteland or whatever. So
It's like Resident Evil.
in a way, but you could join them and you can do their quest lines, or you can join. In Fallout 4, there's a group called the Institute, and what they're doing is that they're actually experimenting with synthetic humans. So they're kidnapping people and then replacing them with robots. They're the villains, but in the game you can join them.
Are they really the villains though?
I
Never
mean,
mind.
arbitrary. I
That's
guess.
very dark, but yeah.
Right. But yeah, they're a faction. There's these people called the Minutemen who are trying to just help settlements like kind of grow and all that stuff. Get everything back in roll. There's multiple different things you can do. And the series seems like it's gonna focus on a few different people. Like you're gonna meet the girl who's just coming out the vault for the first time, and then you're gonna meet the person in the military and stuff like that. So I think it could be a good series. I will say I think it should be a one and done. And
you know that's not gonna happen.
it's not going to happen. And I said that about Gen V as well. I
Well,
think a one and done would be good.
It could be though if the movie's not any
Yeah, if it does poor enough,
any
right?
standards.
Yeah.
I don't know. Halo doing a sequel.
Are they
They're doing another
really?
season to Halo?
Are they really? A lot of people didn't like Halo.
Yeah, I love the game. I love that game. I
never really played the game because I'm not
man.
Xbox, right?
The game is I know the game is amazing.
Yeah,
But the show was
I've heard. I know a lot of people didn't like that he took off his helmet either because that's part of Master Chief's thing, right?
I love the person who's playing him.
Yeah,
But I'm just like
doesn't mean you need to see him.
No. Do we? Is any notable stars to Fallout?
Not that I'm aware of. I let me look up. I'll look up the cast real quick.
All right, because I'm just like
I'm just saying this all off the cuff, off my.
what network is coming on? It's coming on Amazon. You said
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting. That's
Comes out April 12th. Oh, Walter Goggins. Walter Goggins, he's in a lot of stuff.
Let me see a picture of him. Walter Goggins. Oh, this guy. Yeah, he's in Ant-Man.
Yeah, he's almost like Sam Rockwell.
Yeah,
He's like in a lot of
Sam
stuff.
Rockwell.
He's playing a ghoul. And
Of course he is.
And a ghoul is literally, he's like a radiated human who survived the nuclear blast, but now he's all like mutated and stuff. And
This guy plays
they live forever.
He plays a bad guy in every doggone show.
I don't think he's a bad guy though. I think he's just a bounty hunter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's who he's playing. And then out of everybody else, not many other notable names. So I think he's the most notable name. And then he's in makeup most of the time. There's a guy who looks like Jeff Foxworthy in the show.
Yeah, what else? hell happened to him?
Leary.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Foxworthy, he's still doing stuff. He has a comedy special on Netflix.
Everybody has a comedy special on Netflix.
I mean, that's true. But his was pretty good because like he did that I'm an old person humor, but he did it in reverse where he's like, oh yeah, back in the good old days when we had to like read a paper map while driving.
No, he was always funny though.
Yeah, he was good, but that's a small segue. But I mean, first thoughts on Fallout. I think it'll be a fun series. Like I said, I hope it's a one and done. Just because why milk out things? You know what I mean?
Hey, America, we love milking out stuff.
That is true, and I know money and all this stuff, but I'll give it a good one season. That's my hope. It's one good season.
Okay.
So.
Well, there it is then. So that's all the trailers, huh?
That's it. That's all. It's all the time in the trailer park.
Okay. Well, excuse me.
Yeah.
So we got the trailer park?
We got the trailer park. I don't think I got anything else either. I think that's it. You got anything else?
So we out the trailer park and going home, huh?
We going home, man.
God damn, man.
Look, man. We're hitching up the trailer.
All right, yeah.
We're taking the trailer.
That was quick. Like, okay.
Look, man, you don't want to stay too long.
No, yeah. I've been to a couple trailer parks. I've visited some very fine women in trailer parks.
Look, and I'm gonna leave it at that. We're
Yeah,
not
man, you keep going, leave it at that. I got some stories for you, baby.
All right. Well, if you want to contact us and you want to let us know what you think about the trailers, like what you think about Fallout or Godzilla, you can email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, On The Go with Jacob and James. It's all one word, folks. You can find James on Instagram at
James9794.
You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio. And then while you're listening to the show, check out our description. We have a Q&A on every episode, and now we're having some polls. So if you see a poll, answer the poll. If you see a question, answer the question. We might read it on air. I'm on the go. You're on the go. We're all on the go. Let's get out of this trailer park.
All right, we'll try and do better next time.